only thing I'm gonna do is go over here and practice and share with y'all this script of this movie that I'm doing. The setup is just that the actor Charlie Sheen is a 9/11 activist. He wants the September 11th to be really a new investigation into September 11th to be reopened. And as actors, me playing Obama and my other actor playing Charlie Sheen, we said to each other today, like, Obama is gonna, he feels as if he would be assassinated if he was to reopen the investigation of 9/11. And Charlie feels that his babies have already been kidnapped. And if he doesn't present this argument, he'll never get his babies back. So we're on opposing sides, so they get a chance to have a 20-minute interview with each other. I'm not going to read it slow, I'm going to read it fast, as exciting as I can to kind of show this work I've been doing over the last week. So cut through all of the chase. Charlie has a dream. He writes a letter to Barack Obama. Barack Obama's at his desk. He receives a letter, and then they're on a show called 20 Minutes, not 60 Minutes. So he says, "Good afternoon, Mr. President. Thank you so much for your time." "My pleasure, Charlie. I should point out that I voted for you, and your promises of hope and change and transparency and accountability struck an emotional chord in me that I had never felt in quite some time, perhaps ever. I appreciate that, Charlie. Big fan of the show, by the way. It's a nice break from the traveling press corps. I'll cut to the chase, Mr. President. I'm all ears, or so I've been told. Mr. President, am I correct to understand that you fully support and endorse the findings of the 9/11 Commission report? Do I have any reason not to, given that most of us are presumably in touch with similar evidence? Are you aware, Mr. President, that 6 out of the 10 9/11 commissioners have publicly stated that the government did not tell the truth about 9/11 and that the Pentagon was engaged in deliberate deception about their response to the attack? It was a thorough and tireless investigative process. There's bound to be a little infighting, but if you're implying, I'm not implying anything, Mr. President. I'm here to present the facts and find out what you plan to do with them. These facts are in the folders you brought with you today?" "Yes, Mr. President. This is all a matter of public record as reported by the media." "Charlie, I can't speak for or about the decisions certain commission members made during an extremely difficult period. And I recognize that mistakes were made, but I have a responsibility to protect the American people and our allies from this type of terrorism, and it is essential to the growth of this great nation and to the security of our resources. But if the commission itself states that they don't know the truth, then why not talk to them instead of me? Because you're the president, Mr. President, the leader of the free world. The buck stops with you. The dismantling of our Constitution and Bill of Rights has been justified by 9/11, and your administration seems to be headed in the same direction as where the Bush administration was taking us. Mr. Sheen, you're not really drawing parallels between Bush and Cheney's regime and mine, are you? You promised to abolish the Patriot. You promised to abolish the Patriot Act and then voted to reauthorize it. You pledged to end wireless wiretapping against American people, and now you defend it. You denounced the practice of rendition, and it's still going on. You promised again and again on the campaign trail to end the practice of indefinite detention, but now you expanded it to permanent detention without trial. Is this not your record, sir? Mr. Sheen, my staff and I authorized this interview based on your request to discuss 9/11, so it appears as though you wandered off topic. The laws I just mentioned were all justified by 9/11. Charlie, there will always be people who don't agree with my decisions, but we must move forward and do what's necessary to endure through this dangerous and politically challenging years ahead." There's an uncomfortable silence, 20 minutes of commercial break. Back at the interview. "Mr. President, do you know how long it took to begin an investigation into Pearl Harbor? 11 days. How about JFK's assassination? I give up. 17 days. Do you know how long it took to begin an investigation into September 11th? Why don't you tell me? It took 14 months. And Donald Rumsfeld recommended and endorsed a full-scale offensive against Iraq just 5 hours after the attack. I am not aware of any such purported claim. It's right here, Mr. President. along with some other documents I'd like you to take a look at. I see you've come prepared. When in doubt, over-prepare, I say. Please continue. The first document on the top is entitled Operation Northwoods, a declassified Pentagon plan to stage terror attacks on U.S. soil to be blamed on Cuba as a pretext for war. Yes, and the draftsman of this improbable blueprint was quickly denied a second term as Joint Chiefs. Thank God his otherworldly ambitions never saw the light of day.